All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this live streaming event on cloud simulation. I'm very happy to have you here in the room and very happy to welcome you as well for the ones who are connected online. So for the ones who are connected online, please don't hesitate to ask your question in the chat window that you may have, you should have on the right-hand side, so maybe the other side of the live streaming window. That will enable you to interact with us, and we will try to answer as many questions as possible at the end of the presentation during the Q&A session. So today, I would like to go within the context of the Cableway project, the beautiful Cableway project that you can see behind me, and explore how the 3DX platform on cloud can help you to resolve some of the challenges that you may have in your daily life as you're going through the product development projects you are involved with. I would like as well to show you the 3D experience on live in action, particularly with special focus on design simulation, and show you what will be the value that we're offering for that. Finally, we will present you how one of our customers is actually taking the full benefit of the 3D experience platform, connecting design, simulation, and manufacturing, and taking the full benefit out of it. For that, I'm very happy to have with me and to help me on this task, Delphine Genouvrier, product director at Simulia R&D, and we have as well with us David Da Silva from the Cloud Center of Excellence. And I am myself, Yann Lebras. I'm very pleased to be your host today. All right, so let's get started. When I'm meeting with customers, I'm usually interacting with three different kind of profiles. This person could be located in the same place, the same environment, or could be located in different departments across the world, or even different companies. They have different responsibilities as well, and different tasks to actually go through. You probably recognize yourself in these personas. So we'll have the designers that are, if it's working, perfect. Now. Here we go. I'm going to stop with that, in fact. We have designers that are responsible to deliver parts concepts, actually develop part concept, and then choose the best one to go further in the project and develop the detailed design after it and deliver it. You will have engineers that will be mainly responsible for the project management to validate it and finally release it to their customer, internal or external. And finally, analysts, when involved, that will have a final sign-off for certification purposes.
So, Yann, this is correct, but nowadays we also see other kind of organization, right?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. In reality, more and more we see coming into the job market or the market, people that have much more an extended skill set. In fact, they have more skills, and they're willing as well to have more responsibilities. So the engineers could be a designer as well, or the designer could be an engineer as well. And he will be having more responsibility and taking care of more things. Of course, part delivery, project management, validation, and release. He could be, in some cases, as well an analyst, or at least taking over some of the analyst tasks. And you can see that actually in small and medium businesses, of course, but you see that more and more in large companies as well, where these people are taking more responsibility. Regardless of that, regardless of the configuration, the working configuration that these companies are having, they are facing some challenges. They are facing communication challenges, as they have to connect with different people across the world. So these communication challenges might be due to time zone difference. That's happening every day. It can come as well from cultural difference and languages difference. And I'm sure that if you are working with different nationalities, you've been facing that. It could be as well communication issues due to different systems in use in the different organizations. And I'm sure you recognize, again, yourself in some of the situation, maybe sometimes a bit funny situation in this communication. But that can lead to errors, mistakes, and a problem in sharing ideas. Another challenge could be traceability. We see today in the world that the amount of data that people have to manage is becoming larger and larger and larger. And so people need to have a bit more traceability in what they have been doing in the past, where, on what they are willing to work today, and how as well to connect this with a future project that they are willing to work on. You will have as well issues in finding the right expertise. Having the right expertise at the right time at the right place is very important. Otherwise, you will be losing innovation opportunities. And this expertise represents as well some knowledge. And the capture of this knowledge is getting more and more important. I'm sure you have experienced people leaving the company with a certain amount of expertise or knowledge and not being replaced, for example, or being difficult to be replaced because this knowledge was not captured and not reused. And that leads to externalize some work that was before internalized and could be internalized if the knowledge was captured, and making some savings in terms of process, ease of work, etc. The last one I want to expose in terms of challenge is the challenge of time. I mean, this is known by everybody. In fact, we have today no time, or less and less time, to actually deliver what we need to deliver. And I'm sure you have been asked not very far away from today to actually deliver something for yesterday, or for even worse, before yesterday. So this is something that we need, or you are willing to deal with. So Delphine, we've seen the profiles of our customers, or some people that we're interacting on a daily basis, and their challenges. Can you tell us a little bit more about how Dassault Systèmes can actually help them in solving their issues?
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, Jan. So the challenges that you are mentioning is definitely something that you are sharing with us. And these challenges are as well a result of new trend in product development. Products are becoming more and more complex. They include mechanical components, electrical components, even new materials. Customer expectations are higher and higher when it comes to quality, performance, and services around the product. And at the same time, as you mentioned, Jan, companies need to deliver these innovative products faster than ever. So the question is really, and this is what our customers are asking us, how to do that, how to be able to innovate in product development while facing these challenges. And this is what we are aiming to do at Dassault Systèmes. To do that, we truly believe that it comes with an adoption of a new way to develop product. And it comes with an adoption of a new, what we call a product development platform. And this is what we want to offer. Dassault Systèmes is offering an intuitive and unique platform to develop product for any company in any industry. You have a list of some company behind me. So if you are working in high-tech, in industrial equipment, in life science, we have the right solution for you to go to the next stage of product development. The 3D Experience platform is all about connecting people, data, solution, and ideas, inside company or outside companies. And the 3D Experience platform then is offering to our customer all the Dassault Systèmes brand application from social and collaborative application, 3D modeling application, simulation applications, and information intelligence application. So what this means for you is, as a user, you will get access to an intuitive and unique platform so you can design, simulate, inform, and collaborate around multiple product projects. Okay? And you're going to do that in just one single environment, so you'll be able to get your job right. Something important as well is that the people in your company, you mentioned a different profile in company, you will get access to the right application you need to do your job at the right time.
So basically, if I'm a designer, I will get access, or an engineer, I will get access to the 3D application or the modeling application, but as well more application when I need it, right? And I will be able to collaborate in a single environment.
Exactly,
right?
exactly. This is exactly the case. So with the 3D Experience platform, as a user, you will get access to a single source of truth, meaning that everybody involved in the project will use the platform to connect and work on the right data. So do not worry anymore about finding the right product to work on, the right data to collaborate, the right version of the product to enhance. You will get access to the right data at the right time. Forget as well about the traditional bottleneck between design and simulation software when it comes to data conversion, when it comes to learning to different software, to different environment. This is over. With the 3Experience platform, users are going to work in just one single environment so they can design, simulate, collaborate concurrently.
Okay, talking about the simulation, can you tell us a bit more about it, please?
Yeah, sure. Let's go on this point. So simulation is becoming more and more an engineering tool, meaning that simulation is not used anymore by few specialists at the later stage of the product development process, when often it is used just for a certification purpose. Simulation now is used by designer and engineer either at the concept phase, when you are brainstorming on ideas, when you need to understand if you need to go in this direction or not, in general. It can be used as well in the detailed design phase, when you need to test the performance of your design, which means that then the simulation is used by every actor of the product development process.
But can you tell us a bit more? Can we go a bit deeper on that, please?
Yeah, sure. So to do that, we have designed a completely new cloud simulation experience in the 3Experience platform, meaning that at first, from day one, we have designed our simulation application with a designer in mind. Okay, we truly believe in the democratization of simulation for any designer, any engineer in companies. So that means that we have built applications that are intuitive, easy to use, and any user will be guided through the simulation setup. Don't need to be an expert. We are speaking your language, the designer language. Another important point as well is that you're familiar with the design. You're going to design your product, you're going to add intelligence to your design, and this intelligence will become the simulation setup. Okay, so working in one environment means that your data will really be the single source of truth for your product development.
Right, but and you said it rightly, the product development success is about answering the right question and getting the right answer.
Right.
So if I understand well, we made a product for a designer, but how we make sure that they get the right answer and it's accurate enough, and how we make sure that the results are reliable then?
This is a good point, because this is often a fear of our user, and in the world of simulation, it's often a fear that we make something easy to use but not reliable. And that has been our concern from day one, as I mentioned, because if we do something intuitive but you don't provide a reliable result, it is useless.
Yes.
So in all of our structural simulation application, we are providing the best technology for all users. Okay, so the people who knows a little bit simulation, the technology behind it is the Abacus solver, the well-known, recognized solver. So if you're a designer, an engineer, an analyst, you're going to use the same technology, so you will get the reliable solution you need to make your informed technical decision. And on top of that, this enables a user to collaborate around the product development, meaning that as the engine is the same, you're going from designer, engineer, analyst, you'll be able to collaborate on your simulation model, either to add sophistication when needed, either for a simulation review, because you will all use the same environment, so you don't need to worry about, okay, is going to access my data or not. Again, single environment, single data, accessible to everyone.
Yeah, I agree. Collaboration is something that is very, very important. I'm sure our user will agree on that. Yeah. But can you tell us a bit more about that? How far can we go with the collaboration then?
We can go, the sky is the limit, let's say.
Fantastic.
Meaning that, indeed, collaboration is becoming crucial, because the way we develop products are a bit different nowadays, meaning that you are working with remote location. People are working in one single project, but they can work. I'm sure that we have people connected in Asia, in Europe, in North America, and all those people can work on one project. So they need to collaborate. And we all know that email, phone call, they've shown their limitation. So with the 3Experience platform, everybody involved in a project will connect to what we call the dashboard, which is a central location where everything starts. Okay? And from that dashboard, you will get access to your data, you will get access to the project description, and you will get access to the application you want to use for your project. So again, one single location, no need to send emails, send data, crossing finger, it works. Everything is available on your dashboard.
And ready to use. Basically.
And ready to use.
Well, that's indeed something very new in the way we traditionally work. Okay, It's really changing the game. But one question that comes to my mind is, okay, you're talking about a single data or a single source of truth. Sorry, where is this data stored then?
Okay, so our solution is available both on-premise and on cloud. And the cloud solution enables to reduce hardware costs and cost of ownership. Yep. That means that any company, whatever your size, whatever your industry, whatever if you have an IT department or not, you will be able to get access to the 3Excellence platform. Okay, so this is a full democratization of such a solution. And to answer properly to your question, as we are using cloud solution, all data are securely saved on the cloud. The benefit of that is that anyone involved in a project, will get assigned to access to the data in a secure manner, and they will be able then to access their data anywhere, anytime.
All right, so let me try to sum it up for our viewer here, okay? Because there's a lot of information, and on top of that, it will show that I heard very well, listened very well, exactly, and I will sum it up. So first, we have made a solution that is dedicated for designers, okay? So easy to use, integrated, that enable them to actually get the right information at the right time and to take the right decision into their development process.
Yep.
Correct?
That's correct.
It's not because we have made a solution for designer that we didn't put the right technology, the technology for everybody. In fact, we put the best technology that we can and available for everybody.
Correct.
Right?
Yep.
The third point is the fact that we are actually changing the way of working completely thanks to the platform which is connecting everybody together. I think you mentioned as well people that we are not used to work with when we're doing some product development engineering, right? Yep. So, and this is a very key aspect out of it. And finally, we have a solution on cloud that enables to ramp up quite quickly, to have a very strong scalability, and reduce the cost of material, software, IT, etc., etc.
Yep. Exactly, you got it.
Good?
Okay,
cool.
So yes, listen. That's great. So
I'm a good student, you know.
You're good. You're good. Okay, so now what I'm proposing is to see the 3Experience in action. So David, are you ready to drive us through the 3Experience journey?
Yes, I am. I'm pretty excited to show you the 3Experience journey.
Okay, beautiful. So if I'm correct, to illustrate the value that Jan and I share, we're going to use the Cableway project that I think you showed in the introduction, right, David?
Yes, exactly. So I'm proposing you to show you an example of a transportation and mobility industry. It's the Cableway project. So this project is aiming to answer to the challenge of mobility in city. So in the century, we will have more and more people, and we need to find new way to transport people, and in the most efficient way. So I will try to show you an engineering workflow or where we will do some component design through the 3Experience.
Cool, that's going to be nice. Of course, you know, we have only, less than 1 hour, so don't expect that we're going to design the entire cableway. Okay, what we want is to take a few components of the cableway and illustrate, as David mentioned, the engineering journey with the 3Experience platform. Okay, David, so when we start a project, okay, let's just imagine that we are designing a few components of the cableway. So when we kick off a project, where do we start?
So we start from the dashboard, as you said. So let me show you how it works. So to securely connect to my project, I simply log in with my personal credential, so to access to my dashboard. So this is a location where I will find all the relevant information about my project. It can be communities where I'm involved for innovation through social collaboration, for sharing improvement or some ideas or status on the ongoing project. I can also access directly to the 3D content and manipulate it through the web browser. So without needing a dedicated CAD tool, I can check, measure, or annotate 3D. So we are manipulating object. That's very powerful. But the most important is the data associated to this object. So the perfect example is issue management, where we see issue linked to the 3D, and by clicking on it, you will have all the relevant information concerning the issue and the process to resolve it. So, in fact, with my dashboard, I'm going to secure and simply collaborate in order to have the relevant information with my team.
Okay, this is really nice. So if I understand properly, in your dashboard, which is available on a web browser, so I can access it anywhere on a device, I can create a group of people, which is going to be my member, my team member working on the project. So we are going to work together, we're going to interact, to brainstorm in just one single location.
Yes, exactly. So we can define access of the data, visibility of the access of the data. That means that you can be an owner of the data, you can be a contributor, or you can be just a reader of the data. So typically, the use case will be when you have suppliers. When you have suppliers, you want to restrict their access. They need to work, but you want to restrict to keep your IP. So that's typically a use case we can have. So everyone is working in the same data for collaboration, and it's totally secure. And this is typical at what we can offer with the platform.
Okay, this is very nice. So this is definitely the first value that we wanted to show you, the first value of the 3x1 platform. This, what we call the dashboard, which is, again, one central location where everybody will be able, everybody involved in a project will be able to connect securely and access the data they need to work on, to interact with, to collaborate, to work on the project efficiently. So here, we forget about email, we forget about sending data all over, finding data, losing data. This is over, right? Yeah. Okay, so here we have our dashboard. We have created our dashboard with our posts, with our brainstorming, and with our design data. So now let's start the project. So how do we start?
Yeah, so let's move on to the project. In order to show you the workflow, I propose you to define you, Jan, as a project manager. So you
like that?
I will ask you to give me some works to do. And in fact, I would like to you that you assign me a task for designing a new part.
Well, I like that very much. I mean, someone who's asking me to give him some work, I'm okay with that. No problem. So let's log into the platform. And what I will be doing from now on is actually go to the project, extract the different information that I need, and I will be starting assigning you the task. Of course, in this case, I have the possibility to explicitly write what I need from you, but that can be done with an email. But what I will do is more than that, all right? So here we go. I would therefore create a task. I would put what I need from you. In fact, from my customers, I need to actually set up some criteria in the design, and I will add, which is here, so requirement is 1,200 Hertz. So basically, what I need is to reach a certain amount, is not to go below an amount of a value of frequency due to the way the cable work is actually working when it's loading on the cable or unloading on the cable at the arrival or the departure. I will assign the person I need to work on, in this case you, as you were a volunteer for that. I can assign several people, but more importantly, I will actually attach to the task the the models, the group of models I want you to work. So you will not need to search for it, and there is no risk of making a mistake on working on an old part. All right, so let me take the part, here we go. And then I will just send the task to you, so you should be receiving a notification pretty soon about doing that, about working on it.
Yes, thanks, Jan. So now we have seen. So I have some work to do, in fact, and let's take a typical workflow when a designer wants to, in fact, do some tests and design tests through a what-if scenario, in fact, through the 3D Experience platform. So I propose to show you this workflow. So my first step will be to log to the platform, and when I am on the platform, so as you see, I've received, in fact, the notification of Jan. It's a task assignment, in fact. So Jan assigned me a task, but it's also could be assigned to a group of people, as he said. So I can go on it, check all the details. Then I can move it to the status to on progress and to work on it. So now I want to enrich the dashboard. So I want to add more content related to my task. And for doing that, I would like to see the history of the design, and let's manage the Poulet lifecycle. So let's see the history. So the data I want to take is attached to my task, in fact. So I will come back to my task and search for it and add it in my lifecycle. So in order to illustrate the concurrent engineering, we can see here the lifecycle management. In fact, I have 3 versions of my pulleys. So, and we will look more in detail. So now let's move on CATIA. We are now in CATIA, and as you can see, I've already opened my initial design. This is my baseline, in fact. Okay, so as you can see, I try to improve it by trying 2 new versions, 2 new revisions by adding some ribs. So version B had 2 ribs, and version C have more ribs. So let's do a test on the baseline and try to simulate the behavior of this initial part. So for doing that, during the design process, I could just simply and easily set up a frequency analysis. Okay, so with the intuitive assistant, which will guide me through a workflow to define the load and boundary condition, which define in fact my virtual testing environment. So in fact, in that case, in frequency analysis, we just need to set up low boundary conditions on the surface, which represents the area where inquest fix and so on. So, okay, now once it's done, I can submit my job, so I can run my simulation. So here I submit locally, but on my computer, but I can benefit of the cloud with the cloud computing, in fact. This allows me to get rid of potential hardware restriction and boost me on my productivity by reducing the time of my simulation. So here, my job is running, and because I send in locally, can take more times. And here, okay, I got my results, and I can check the result I have in my model. So here, you can see that the frequency, in fact, is below of the requirement of Jan. So it's 900. So I need to improve it. I need to try to improve this design. So as I said, we do a what-if scenario. So it means I will do a new design. This is a version B. Usually, when you do that, you need to redo all the setup. But thanks to the fully integration of design and simulation and full experience, you don't have to redo all the setup definition. So you just need to replace your baseline design by another design model. So as you can see here, I just select the version B on my initial simulation design, and I will submit again the simulation. Okay, for the purpose of the demo, the simulation already has been submitted, and I can check the results. So here, okay, it's not enough. We need to improve again to fulfill the requirement. So let's try my third idea with more ribs, in fact. And in that case, I will follow exactly the same workflow, so the same streamlined workflow. And I will look at the result, and hopefully, I hope here that it will okay, of course. This version is okay and fulfills the requirement. Okay, we are good. But let me come back to one thing. I talk about cloud computing. As I said, my job requires sometimes too much hardware to run it. And if I want to run faster, I can choose to submit the job on the cloud. This is fully integrated, in fact. So I just need to change the location. So I was in local, and I just need to select cloud, and it automatically submits my job on the cloud computing. So we are fully integrated. Okay, so here we are done. We have the surface design ID is right now. It's the right one. So let's come back to my widget, and we would like to define this as my final version. So I now made my choice. I can have double check to be sure it's a good model through the browser. And what I will do is to define this as my new version. So of course, sometimes you can have multiple branches, parallel branches, alternative, and so on, and it can be done by several users. So here it's a workflow with one branch and two versions, but it can be more complicated. And in that case, we can use the compare tool. The compare tool is very powerful, especially in the case where you have multiple users. And in fact, it allows you to compare different versions, 3D design, in fact. So you will have a clear view of the change between two versions. You can see here in blue, it's a modification between the two parts. So, okay, I can pin this in my dashboard because I would like to review this later. And okay, so we are okay, but I need to share my result now. So I'm not working alone on this project. So if I want to share simulation results easily, I can use a dedicated hub to share simulation results. It's a simulation review. So everyone who has access to the dashboard could look at the result without requiring a dedicated software, in fact. This means that it's shared in a secure way to people involved to this project to review the technical insight I'm providing. So providing anywhere, anytime on the cloud. That's the beauty of the cloud. So here we have all the capability in this application to share results. It can be the animation, it can be the several frequency in our case. So it's very powerful. So now, I consider that my job is finished, but I need to inform Jan, my project manager. So I need to notify that my task is done. So I come back to my project, in fact. And here, I will come back to my task, and I want to ensure that he has the information. So what I am doing, in fact, is I'm retrieving my result, and I will defining as a deliverable, in fact. So here it's done, I move it to done, and automatically, when I move the status, he have received the notification saying, okay, my job is, my task is done. Okay, so
actually, yeah, I actually received it.
I hope. But so during this overview, if I try to summarize, during this overview, we have shown you a designer, or it can be an engineer, in fact, getting and how to get the benefit of collaborative cloud. That's clearly the value here we have shown. But I would like to highlight 3 points, in fact. The first point is clearly the full associativity between design and simulation. We are clearly removing the barrier because here, since we have a full integration, there is no more need to reset up again your simulation. So it's fully integrated. You just change your design, resubmit your simulation. That's the power of associativity. The second point is, as you can see, we are on a native collaboration. That means that we have a seamless workflow, and we have a full continuity on your project. So as you can see, all the information are transferred, and it's not copy-paste, duplicated, and so on. So we are clearly here have an improvement, and on the way to work on the collaboration, and can be also on the social collaboration, also with the community to inform correctly and give the correct status. And last point, we don't have to forget it, is the cloud computing. Cloud computing is very important. Nowadays, we want to remove the barrier of hardware. Hardware is give you a barrier to avoid democratization of simulation because you don't have the an hardware enough powerful. So clearly here, we have integrated fully, natively, cloud computing. So that's the 3 points I wanted to show you.
Right, thanks a lot, David. So what we wanted to share with you today during this overview with David was one example of the cloud simulation. Of course, we do many more, but it is an overview. What I would like you to remember is that what we are offering is unique. Okay, the 3Expense platform environment offer a new way to design product. Okay, all the challenges that Jan mentioned earlier are over. Okay, in terms of communication, which was one of the challenges, you don't have any problem anymore. You don't need to call people, where is the data? Is it version ABC? Is it version CDE? Don't worry, you have the right data to work on your dashboard. We have changed completely as well the way to use simulation during design process. What we want to do is that everybody is empowered to test his design every day while designing his product. We want to empower our user to get the right technical answer to get informed decision. So while you are designing your product, every designer, every engineer, we all have doubts, we all have questions. What if I change this? What if I add the reef that you mentioned? And often we don't dare to go there because we have no answer. And then we continue to kind of improve a little bit the design, but we cannot go to innovation because we don't have the right tool to answer to our question. Okay, and this is what we want to offer. So with this offer, with the new engineering workflow that we want to offer, you will be empowered to test all the ideas that you have in mind. Okay, you will get the answer at the right time, and you will be able to share this answer to every project stakeholder. As you show, simulation result is not anymore used only by few people in a report that are archived and never used. They are becoming a technical insight that everybody can access to, even if they don't have simulation software. You know, as you shown on the dashboard. So the simulation result really becomes a good insight for the right discussion around the project. And of course, the value of cloud, you know, I think, you know, we are going to repeat that a lot, but the cloud is offering you the flexibility that you are looking for, sorry. And it's offering you as well the flexibility plus the power of cloud computing, as you mentioned. So we are really offering a completely new engineering workflow. And I think that we have example of customer getting benefit of it, right, Jan?
Absolutely. In fact, I would like to come back on the fact that we're sharing exact data, exact information, and we're removing in reality or reducing the room for interpretation. And actually, you will see in the video that what a customer of ours is actually doing. Can you please launch the video?
If you saw our trailer next to our competitor, you would be amazed how much higher the quality is, how much better the finish is, how much better the wood looks. The design in general is better. The little details add up. Just from the manufacturing standpoint, we burn our own parts, we bend our own parts, we saw cut our own parts, we machine our own parts. And there's a lot of parts that go on a trailer. People don't realize that. You know, there's 1,000 steel parts and there's another 2,000 purchase parts. Our big challenge is we're all new to the manufacturing sphere. Globetrotters 2017 doubled our production, and in 2018 we want to do the same. Globetrotters chose the 3D Experience platform on the cloud because we have a globalized engineering team. We wanted to use something that wasn't hindering our progress, instead it was supporting our progress.
In the past, to ship information, I would have to export analyses, transfer the files that would be very large, and then they'd have to import them. This workflow is much smoother and makes it easy to share that type of information and for everyone to collaborate quickly. Engineers are always thinking over their problems, you know. Generally, I could be anywhere and I can get on 3D Experience, start to model it or sketch something out. And to be able to do that at any time is pretty powerful.
Time is very critical for us, so we have to make our trailers on time no matter what. So if there's an issue, we have to solve it within hours at least. Earlier, it would take us really long to do the hand calculations, but now, you know, with 3D Experience, we can take a manufacturing model and perform a very, you know, approximate simulation on it and get the results. Now, that way, the shop does not really have to wait. The shop can keep building the trailer.
Customers benefit from the 3D Experience platform because we're able to spool up resources very quickly and as many as we need to. That gives us more output. We get to refresh designs, we get to close problems out quicker, and everybody's working on the same single source of information, so we can all keep that group going. When the customer sees me work the system, they're always impressed. They're amazed how fast I get the information to them, how great the models look, because I can show the rendering, I can show FEA. Everything's in that model space, and that's very powerful and very impressive for the customer. Our goals with the 3D Experience now are to educate all of our users, so when a user logs into the trailer, he sees why that hole is there, why the flange is that size. He can actually go and visualize the engineering information inside the platform and then make better choices and inspire him for future choices. In 5 years, I see the company with a manufacturing footprint in other countries, much larger, much more diverse product range, making great products across the board.
All right, I think this is a great example, isn't it? Actually, personally, I love it. It's summing up everything we said to you before so far. So, anyways, it's time as well for us to summarize what we have presented to you. So our objective today was to present you how our companies can move from a traditional linear product development into a concurrent and integrated product development process by running simulation workflows on the cloud, thanks to our solution on cloud, having a unified engineering environment with a 3D experience platform on the cloud. As well, adopt what Delphine talked about with using simulation for performance-driven design approach, not anymore just a design and then we validate it eventually. And finally, having cloud simulation as an engine to improve innovation, to go to more innovation. That's basically the takeaway of today's session. Before we close it, we promised you a Q&A session. I think we have received a few questions, and maybe you can project that to us around here. I don't know if you can.
It's coming, yep.
It's coming, right?
Yep.
So bear with us a few seconds. Not minutes, just a few seconds.
This is live.
Yeah, we have our first one.
Is it appearing here, maybe? Nope. Not coming?
Maybe no question?
Yeah, I have here. Okay. All right, so I am designing valves type of products, and we are for now outsourcing the fluid flow testing we need for our product sizing. Can you also do CFD simulation in this environment?
I'll take this one?
Yeah.
All right, I'll take this one. All right, so what David showed you during his demonstration is just, one tiny bit of our capabilities. We wanted to select a frequency simulation in structural application, but of course, we have a comprehensive structural application available for you in the 3D platform. But we don't do only structural simulation, indeed. And to answer to this question, yes, we are providing fluid flow simulation to our designer and to our engineer, so you can do product sizing on products submitted to fluid flow. So I think that was valve, if I'm correct. So you can design a valve, and while you are designing a valve, you will get the pressure drop of your valve, you will get the velocity inside your valve to make informed decision on the geometry of your valve. We as well offer plastic injection simulation on 3D platform. So definitely our goal when it comes to cloud simulation is to offer you what we call a multi-domain simulation portfolio.
All right, thank you, Delphine. Another question from Catherine. Could you please detail a bit more how you are managing design traceability and associativity between design and simulation?
Take that as well?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Okay, so we spoke a little bit about that in our presentation and in David's presentation. So again, as we are using a single source of truth, everybody is going to use the single data. Okay, so the design data is available in a secure manner. You know on what you need to work on. And then while you are designing your data, of course, you need to take into account the life cycle of the design. And it's what you show us with the different design versioning, with version A, B, and C. And this is very easily defined in a 3D platform. So while you are designing, you can set up your design life cycle. And then with this, you are able, as we mentioned, to do design simulation, to test the different design alternative that you are working on. And as the design and the simulation are completely fully embedded in the same environment, you are able then to update automatically your simulation model for any design change. So do not worry anymore to have asynchronous design model and simulation model and not being sure that you are doing the result analysis on the right model. Everything is associative and synchronous in your product development cycle.
Yeah, you don't have duplicates in reality.
No, yeah, exactly.
All right. A question from Anja. Is it possible to share simulation results on a tablet? Yes, I think you've seen that in the video. Actually, there is one of the customer, he's actually going in the shop floor to show the result of simulation, but as well the result of all the product assembly so that the worker is actually understanding what needs to be done. Again, I was saying previously there is no room for interpretation anymore. Okay, or at least we're reducing it a lot.
In fact, Jan, so as soon as we are using a web browser, so you can use a tablet, you can use a phone if you want. You can use any device which have a web browser. So it's definitely...
Yeah, exactly. The dashboard is available on the web browser, so you can access to your project data anywhere, anytime, on any device.
Exactly.
All right, I have an interesting one. I will not pronounce the name. It's too complex for me. I'm sorry for that. Hello, I have question on security. How do we convince a defense customer that his data is secured on cloud? Second query, do we have some private space on cloud for this kind of customers? So you want to answer?
If you want, well, go ahead.
I'll take it. This is a one I'm familiar with. It's coming quite often, not necessarily on the defense side, but it's coming on the security on cloud usually. So the way to answer it is various. First of all, Dassault Systèmes has been investing heavily on cloud security as a large company, and some of the big actors that are going there. We have a customer actually that has been on stage and explained that he would rather take Dassault Systèmes Cloud and trust Dassault Systèmes that can invest the amount of money necessary to have the highest level of security that he could not himself be able to invest. Okay? Even if he would be hiring an expert on the domain, investing in hardware, etc., he would not be able to sustain the pace and to maintain it on the long run. So he would rather trust Dassault Systèmes and subcontract that to us and use our cloud. And he's actually a very good reference of ours as well that you might be seeing somehow here. He's coming from Israel, so trust me, they are very, very sensitive with security. Now, regarding defense, yes, we can make private spaces for them. It could be in their own area, in their location eventually, and that would be a private cloud, and this could be the answer to this sort of customers. Right?
Okay.
A question from Andrej. Do you have available academic or student license for simulation on the cloud? I believe we have that.
Yes, we do.
Absolutely, we have an
academic. Of course, you know, our goal is to democratize design simulation to make sure that the new generation and is adopting the new way of developing products. So yes, definitely our solution is available for students. Definitely, yes, on the cloud.
All right, I think we can close the session now. I think the time is running out. So I would like to thank you, Delphine and David, for helping me on that. I would like to thank you all for attending this presentation and this session. Thank you very much and goodbye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.